Things I wish I knew going into college. Hey guys, hey besties, and everyone else. So, this is my first video where I'm just talking college advice or anything related. And I'm kind of excited because I love to yap and I love to give advice. I'm an older sister. My little sisters probably get sick of me giving them unwanted advice. So, why not just give it to people who are not my biological siblings? but are my internet siblings.
What?
Or, oh, that's weird. Why would I do that? You guys are probably like, girl. Anyways, okay. So I'm going to be a sophomore and I basically move in 2 weeks. I'm officially starting classes in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where did the time go? I feel like at the same time, I'm dreading it, but I'm also excited because it's like after sophomore year, I'm going to be halfway through college. I'm going to be done. I'm going to be done. And I'm still confused about what major, if I'm even in the right major, if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm in the right clubs. It's so much. However, back to the advice. So, drum roll. Oh, I got new nails by the way. Look at them. They're so cute. I've been getting compliments on them and I'm like, oh, stop. Number one, put yourself out there. I cannot stress this enough. As someone who is an overthinker, socially anxious, is an introvert at heart sometimes. I really, really, really wish I put myself out there more. I did, I think, in a certain sense, but not to the fullest I could, and I think I regret that a little bit. Like, go to those involvement fairs, please go to those different clubs, try different things, figure out what you love, what you don't enjoy. Because let me tell you, you'll think you love something or you'll think you don't like something, and then you'll try it in college and you'll be like, whoa. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So be very open, whether it's Greek life, whether it's club sports, whether it's academic clubs, whether it's random social clubs or other clubs, whatever it is, be open, try. Even when it comes to friendships, same thing for friendships. You never know who you're going to click with. Maybe these are not the same kind of people you were friends with in high school, but you never know. And that's what I'm saying. So please be open to extracurriculars, to friends, to all those different things because even if you hate it, at least now you know. Number two is please, this is your chance to basically reinvent yourself. As someone who moved a lot around high school, it was a bit of a struggle making friends because one minute I was in the West Coast, as in California, and then I had to leave all those kind of friends I made and then move to the East Coast in like Boston and then make new friends again. And then it was just so much displacement that it was hard for me. Especially for me, it takes like time to really get close to people and trust them completely, and having such short amount of time with different people in from different areas and walks of life made it very hard for me to make really good long lasting friendships in high school. And so I told myself like college was going to be different and I was going to really try. So basically, girl, fake it if you have to. Like, you don't know people, like it's going to be people you've never met, unless you're going to a school where everyone from your high school, and that's different. But especially if you're going out of state, you're going to a school that most people in your high school aren't going to. This is your chance to like basically, no one knows you, like, be who you want to be. If you want to be more social, this is your chance to be more social. If you want to be more active, you want to be the active gym girly, that's your chance to do that. If you want to be the mysterious like nanshanga, be whatever you want to be. Because when else are you gonna do this? This isn't high school. Like, is the chance, and I cannot stress that enough. Now, I don't know if this applies to everyone. This is depending on your financial situation. But being in college, you get to order whatever you want and have it, shipped or delivered to your dorm without anyone questioning you. The people at your housing, wherever they receive the packages, aren't gonna be like, oh my God, you're ordering too much stuff. Like probably at home, maybe you won't order as much because like, oh, your parents, for some people, like their parents maybe are like, no, you can't order this much stuff, so they don't order as much. But being in college, you can buy whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. And I think just having like that financial control, self-control, to be like, okay, like I need this, but do I really really need that? You know what I'm saying? Being like, okay, I bought this many, tops and dresses, but do I really need, just figuring out like, okay, what's a want and a need, and like in my own financial situation, should I really be buying all this stuff? Just obviously spend you treat yourself, do whatever, but also just like being mindful and more financially sound. Because when I came, I was just buying anything to anything, like TikTok shop. Like I was just buying everything and anything really. And I was like, and then I ended up with stuff that I didn't even wear, stuff that I didn't even like 2 weeks after. And I was like, why did I buy that? Like, and then I'm also like a mini hoarder sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll wear it like at some point and I don't ever end up wearing it. So like just figuring out that like, okay, like just a little bit of self-control, especially because things do add up in college. Because you have an event and you need a new dress, you have an event and you need heels and you need like a suit, and then you need, your friends want to go out to dinner downtown, and then you have to pay for your own meal, and then you have to go pay, if you're in a club or Greek life, right, you have to pay for different events, you have to pay money to go to whatever. Their costs add up. If you live in an apartment or a house, you have to pay for groceries, all these different things do add up. So just being like very mindful, depending on your financial situation. If you have unlimited money, great, great. I love that for you, but not me. Next, I will say be hygienic. Oh my God, I can't stress this enough. Obviously, again, depends on where you're going to school, what college you're going to. If you're in an apartment, if you're in a dorm, if you're in a single, if you're in a double, triple, quadruple, supplemental, like my school, we have singles, doubles, we even have supplementals of 8 people, we have 6 people, then there's people who live in houses, we have people living in apartments. So obviously it's very different and depends on all these things, but like just be clean. Like a clean space is a clean mind. Like even for the sake, if you're living with other people, just being aware, like, oh my God, I should probably not leave my dishes all over the place. I should probably organize my side. Even if all my stuff are on my side and not theirs, I should still have a little bit of semblance of just hygiene, cleanliness. Like make sure like just all these little things that like matter. Because what if they have their friends over and your room looks like a mess? I personally think about these things. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't have my roommate's friends think that I'm such a mess. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Obviously there's like an understandable amount of mess, but then if it gets to a point like I've seen people have empty pizza boxes under their under their beds. Like, oh no, no. And I think this ties into another form of hygiene, just personal hygiene as well, like showering. I know some people are like, girl, who doesn't shower? I'm telling you, like some people like they're like, you know, guys. But even girls too, even girls. Like sometimes like girl, just take that shower, like skincare. This is your moment, like lock in, like skincare, if you do your makeup, like all those different things to just elevate yourself, and just look your best. Looks are in everything, but how you feel and how you look are so intertwined. You should look your best to feel your best, and so yeah. When else are you gonna basically have to do this to people in your age? Next is time management. I had to learn this the hard way. And this can actually, I'm gonna start in academics. Time management with school. Like I had to teach myself like a whole new way of learning, because the way I used to study in high school is not the same way that I needed or I need to study now in college. It's so different. And like especially in those harder classes, I had to take general physics and all these other classes, and I was in for a rude awakening. I was in for a rude awakening. Like this last minute studying the night before the exam doesn't work anymore. Like you actually need to understand this material, like throughout the different weeks, throughout the entire semester, to be able to do well in these more challenging classes. Like I'm being so serious. So basically figuring out what works for you, how to study. Is it in groups? Does that work better for you? Do you prefer or learn better by yourself, like going to the library and like hiding away from civilization for like 2 hours and locking in? Like what is it for you? Are you a visual learner? Do you prefer sound and audio learning? Like all these different things. This is your chance, especially freshman year, to kind of figure that out before you get into those more intense major focus classes. So this is your chance to figure out what works best for you. And on another side of time management is managing your time, basically making sure that in your day you're planning out your day properly, so you're not ending up wasting time. Because I did that my first semester. I was wasting time doing the most unproductive, non-helpful things that I could have used for better things. Make sure you allocate time for studying, for your classes, to do homework, for study for exams, to go to your clubs, to go to your socials, to hang out with your friends, to what else do people spend time doing? If you're in a sport, to go practice, if you work out, to go to the gym, all these different things, you need to be able to balance them and have sleep. So it's like it's not easy sometimes, but it's so important in order to like not fall behind in different aspects. If you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, like also that's time consuming too. So like being able to sort of, for some people schedules work better, like they like to have their whole day planned out to the dot, and that's how they survive. Some people, that's not how they do it, they just like going with the flow. But whatever works for you is figuring out how to make sure that you're not falling behind in any aspect, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Next is take care of yourself. What do I mean by that? That's such a broad word, take care of yourself. But I mean, you're gonna make friends and meet so many different people, and they're all gonna want your time. But you have to realize that unfortunately, you only have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and you have classes, you have your extracurriculars, you have clubs. If you're an athlete, you have practice and all that. If you're whatever you are, you're taking, there's time allocated for different things. Then you have to hang out with your friends. You have to um you have clubs that have events and socials and things you have to go to. There's all these different things taking chunks out of your time that you need to make sure you allocate time for yourself, to make sure that you're not giving too much time to things that aren't benefiting you. You know, like you can't say yes to everything. As much as FOMO, I know FOMO is a thing, and trust me, I know FOMO, like you want to go to every event with every friend, with every party, at everything, but you can't, because unfortunately you do have an exam tomorrow, and even though you want to go to the party, you might have to skip this one, girl. You just might, and it's gonna suck, but there'll be more parties. Trust me, if there's one thing I learned about college, there will always be a party, there will always be a social, there will always be some other chance to hang out with these people or do all these things. So never feel like, oh my god, if I don't go, I'm gonna miss out at the best thing. No, girl, no. I remember, actually, story time, so that you guys know what I'm talking about. I had an exam, but it was my, for one of my clubs, it was our formal, and before the formal we had pictures, and then we had the pre-formal activities, to say so. And and so I knew that I had my exam, and I knew the following morning, and I knew if I wanted to go to the formal, I had to like study and finish all my work before that. But then that would mean I would have to miss the pictures, I'd have to miss the, the pre get together. But I had to make that decision. I could have gone to those things, but then that would have affected how I did the next day. So it's just making these difficult decisions, but knowing in the long run that, hey, I have 4 years, 5 years for some people. There will be more formals, there will be more pictures, there will be more events and outings and stuff like that, basically. Just balance. That's the word, balance. This should have been number one, but lock in. Like, I know college is for many people, especially I came from a strict household. So for so many people who've come from kind of strict households, like this is their chance to like have all this freedom and go wild and go crazy. But I cannot stress this enough. Lock in, like, grades. At the end of the day, you're in college to get that degree, to do those classes. So even though everything like friendships, hanging out, clubs, extra, all those stuff are important, unfortunately, that academics is what brought you there. So lock in, make sure you're on top of your grades, you go to class, doing all those things. Like, because when that GPA goes down, it's very hard to bring it back up. I can tell you that. It goes down like this, and then it comes up like this. Like, I would know. And so, like, lock in, go to class, go to those if you're struggling in a class, go to those office hours, go to those like group study sessions, depending on what school you go to, and just make friends in your classes. Have at least one friend. That's also an a small piece of advice in the advice. Make a friend in every class, because like when you can't make it to a class because you're, if or if you're sick or whatever the case is, like having a friend to be like, hey, what can I use your notes, or hey, can you send me like the home, it's so helpful, trust me. I had friends in a class, and then there was a class I didn't have any friends, and I know the difference. So yeah, that's three. The last piece of advice is more in a professional sense, but to network. Making friends your age is great, make sure to keep them, but also networking with like alumni, joining clubs where you get to talk to successful people that graduated from your school, to because at the end of the day, the reason you're in college is because at some point you want a job, you need a job. and hey, the job market is crazy right now, but that's not the point. Before I go off on a tangent about the economical and political state of the world, um, but make sure you take networking seriously, because at some point you might need someone, or they might need you, whatever. But it's so important because at the end of the day, it's not what you know, but who you know. And I cannot stress this enough how I've been able to be in spaces and gotten certain things just because of the people I know, because everyone can be smart. Like there's so many smart people out there who probably would do a better job at whatever it is, but someone who knew someone got the job instead of them. Someone who knew someone got the promotion instead of them. It's and it's not fair, but it is the world we live in. And like, so I would say just it is the world we live in. Take it as it is, and you know, network and put yourself out there and go to fairs and go to conferences, go to all these different things that you can like help put. Obviously, it depends on what your career or job or major is, but anything that would help you after graduation, because unfortunately we live, it's not a free world. You need money to survive and to buy things, and I love to buy things. So yeah, I think that's the wrap. And let me know if you guys want more, because this is just a few. Like I could go on for hours about like advice I would give or that I would want someone to have given me a year ago. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you like this kind of videos. So maybe I'll start giving more videos and advice, because I like being the big sister. Until next time, besties.